Florida and JetBlue Park, Fenway South. Spring training action continues as tonight the Minnesota Twins visit the Boston Red Sox. Welcome inside JetBlue Park, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. We have Nesson with us tonight. We have Fox Sports North with us tonight as our Minnesota Twins join us again, and our good friend Dick Bramer, the voice of the Twins, alongside.
Don, we're going to be alternating innings doing the play-by-play. The viewers will be treated by a couple of right-handed sluggers who probably could still clear the wall here at Fenway South. Ron Coomer was an all-star for the Twins, a memorable all-star appearance, in that it was at Fenway Park. And Ron Coomer played some third base, some first base for the Twins, gave the Twins some pop from the right side of the plate. And, of course, from the Boston side, we welcome to the booth for the first time Hall of Fame slugger Jim Rice, who Twins fans remember terrorizing Twins pitching both at Metropolitan Stadium and the Metrodome. So we welcome two very good right-handed sluggers to our broadcast booth. And Ron Coomer, the Twins are trying to solve some pitching issues, and to that end, it's a big start tonight for Liam Hendriks.
Well, they're all big starts for the young guys when you're trying to make a rotation, and Liam Hendriks has done very well so far as the manager. Hi, Skipper. As the guy making the decision just walked by. So for Liam, it is a very important start, but they're all important. But he's pitched very well, and that guy that just walked by said if the game started today, he would be in the rotation. Very important for the right-hander.
Well, the Twins manager, Ron Gardner, has already made his presence felt. How about Jim Rice? Jim, tonight, Johnny Gomes in left field. A little different left field here than at Fenway Park.
It's a little different. It's not the original wall, but at least you have an idea about the 10 out there. But, of course, you got to have the corners down there. But he's going to learn a lot about the wall tonight, and as spring training continues, but when he goes to Fenway Park, that's the true story.
Should be a fun night tonight. It's the Red Sox and Twins coming your way after this on a beautiful night from Fort Myers, Florida.
Meetings have brought some memorable moments, most notably in 1967. In the culmination of one of baseball's greatest pennant races, the Twins took a lead into Fenway and were beaten twice as the Red Sox brought joy to New England. While less monumental, Minnesotans have fond memories of their own. The night in 1990 when the Twins became the first and only team to turn two triple plays in the same game. And the defense in 2001 that became the signature of a young team on the verge of a breakthrough. As the Twins rose in the American League Central, the Red Sox rose to the top, fueled in large part by a young slugger who moved from Minnesota to Boston. Big Papi is on the sidelines tonight, but the Twins and the Red Sox are ready to go as spring training baseball from Fort Myers starts now.
A lot to share between the Red Sox and the Twins over the years, and tonight we share as well as we come to you from JetBlue Park at Fenway South in Lee County, Florida, as the Red Sox and Twins meet once again tonight. And the great manager of the Minnesota Twins, Ron Gardenhire, last year picked up his 900th win on his resume, comes in at .932 and .851 in his 12th season at the helm for the Twins. Let's check out his starting nine tonight. Aaron Hicks leads it off in center field, last year playing in Double-A. Jamie Carroll at third base. Chris Parmalee, who homered yesterday, is at first base. Ryan Domet does the catching in the cleanup spot with Oswaldo Arcia in right field. Joe Benson vying for the center field spot. In outfield, he'll be the DH tonight with Brian Dozier at second base batting seventh. Eduardo Escobar at shortstop, and Darren Mastriani, he is in left field. On the mound tonight for the Red Sox is Felix Dubront. Look at the numbers for him last year as he finished the season 11-10 last season. Last time out, he struck out 7 4 2/3 innings in 2 Grapefruit League starts so far this spring. He has looked very good after coming in some tough shape to begin the year. He has done very well conditioning-wise the rest of the spring and looks to be back on track once again. Take a look at the defense for the Red Sox. Behind him, Johnny Gomes in left field. Jacoby Ellsbury in center. Ryan Sweeney around in right. Third to first. Will Middlebrooks at third base. Devin Marrero added to the lineup tonight. We'll tell you more in a moment. Dustin Pedroia at second base. Mike Napoli at first. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, there's stories on both sides in the outfield position for the Twins. It's a battle for center field. Aaron Hicks out there, Joe Benson and Darren Mastriani all playing tonight. The question is, who is going to get that job? Right now, it seems like it's Aaron Hicks' job to lose. And for the Red Sox, outfield is set, but a name on everyone's mind, Jackie Bradley Jr. with a .484 average in 15 Grapefruit League games. So, Red Sox fans and Twins fans, let's tweet a question for Ron Coomer and Jim Rice about either team's outfield using the hashtag outfield. They may answer it right on our air tonight.
Well, we look forward to that, and we hope you will contribute with us tonight as well as we check your tweets out throughout the night. And it is great to have with us tonight the Hall of Famer Jim Rice along with Ron Coomer back with us once again here from JetBlue Park. And Jim Ed back in the booth here tonight. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to be here. I mean, I didn't think we saw you on the field down there, and I knew you'd be coming up here, but you don't get up here all that often. But here you are.
No, this is what you call the rich man district.
No.
I was thinking, Jerry and Don. So, you know, TC and I, we just stay down there.
Well, we're glad to have you. We're very happy you're here. And again, tonight we'll be asking a question to you and also to Ron Coomer. But hashtag outfield is tonight, and we look forward to that as well. And Coom's in here again. He was just here last week, so he's back with us once again.
I am. Thanks for having us. I know at Fox Sports, this broadcast goes out to our Minnesota viewers, and it's a lot of fun to be sending baseball back to the frozen tundra right now. But it's an honor to be here. It's great to be with Jimmy. I look forward to a fun night of talking. Believe it or not, we're going to talk hitting a lot tonight. Guess, you know.
Looking forward to that.
What we're going to do, yeah?
Dick Bramer will be with us as well as he'll be coming up here in the third and fourth innings of tonight's contest. Felix Dubront getting the start tonight for the Red Sox. And Jim was a guy last year, out of spring training, was a very big surprise. I don't think most people thought he would be in the starting rotation, but he was, and pitched a lot last year for the Red Sox.
He did. I think some people thought he pitched too much. But, you know, it seemed like, to me, it's the more you go out there, the better you're going to get. I don't know as far as by arm strength. Everyone talking about arm strength now. But when Coleman and we played, we had a 4-man rotation. Now you have a 5-man rotation. So I don't know if the arm strength is coming from the minor league or not. You got to go down there and you got to pitch. You got to throw. You got to go back to 4-man rotation. Or if you go to 5-man rotation, I think you still got to have more starts and you got to throw more.
And a pitch count right now is such an issue for all these guys. You see first pitch walk. And to me, I know with our broadcast, Bert Blyleven, our partner with Fox, talks a lot about pitch count. When he was pitching in the major leagues, there was no such thing as pitch count. It was about innings and getting W's, and we'll see tonight what happens.
I agree with you 100%.
Do you think that's the biggest change from when you played, Jim, to now as far as pitch counts and the specialties you have as pitchers coming in, working 6th inning, 7th inning, wherever it may be?
It is because I think pitchers now, they know that, look, if I go out there now and my pitch count gets up, I'm coming out the 5th or 6th inning. And, of course, the pitching coach trying to protect the pitcher, and, of course, they're trying to protect the investment that the owners have in these guys, and that's what it's gone to right now.
Now to check on his starter is Jared Saltalamacchia as 6 straight balls thrown by Felix Dubront out of the gate tonight. He walks Aaron Hicks and gets behind Jamie Carroll.
Dubront just looks a little out of sorts right here at the beginning. He, like his release point's been a little all over the place. So, good move by Saltalamacchia, get him out there and kind of slow the game down here a little bit for him.
It seemed like he's trying to guide everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
As I mentioned, Pedro Siriaco scratched from the game tonight right before the game with back spasms. So it is Devin Marrero, the first-round draft choice for the Red Sox, who gets a start at shortstop. Actually played already a couple of innings in a game today. The Red Sox had a split squad in Sarasota taking on the Orioles earlier today, so he's getting a chance to play in the day game and the night game.
Them young guys, they can do that. You know, you get a little longer in the tooth. We didn't like playing them early day games and coming back.
Yeah, back then you only had 40 guys in spring training, 45 minutes the most you had. And now you go to spring training, you see 70 guys.
It's unbelievable how many guys are in camp now, and I know you've been around every day. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing down here every spring training.
Watching and staying out of the way. That's what I do best.
Here, I thought you were instructing.
That, yeah.
I thought he was instructing. He's just staying out of the way.
That's right. I mean, because we have 2 hitting coaches right now.
Right.
So I think, you got to give them their due, where you have someone like myself or Yaz or Dwight that's down here. You don't want to step on anyone's toes. But if a guy asks me something, I will go to him. I'm not really going to go out there just because I play for the Red Sox. That's not the way I am.
Well, it's great that all of you guys are back here. I know that the players enjoy seeing you guys around as well, and the Red Sox have done such a great job over the years of bringing back their legends like yourself. You mentioned Dwight Evans. We saw Yaz around last week. Louis Tion has been here as well. He's on the ground to third base. Middlebrooks took a look at second. The runner was off. His only play at first, and Carroll is retired as we send it down to Jenny Dell with some news from the Red Sox.
That's right, Don. The Red Sox have optioned right-handed pitchers Ruby De La Rosa and Alan Webster to AAA Pawtucket. And, Don, they've also sent Christian Vazquez, who's been very impressive this spring, to AA Portland.
You know, some changes for John Farrell. It is getting a little smaller as camp goes on. Today was one of those split squad days, but there are less of those moving forward. And you start to see your team forming together as this spring training goes along. We're a little deeper now, March 15th.
Well, when you come to spring training, you about to know who you're going to break with. And there's probably only maybe like 1 or 2 spots that's going to be available. And so you're having these guys go out and play. You know who you're going to break with. So it's not really something that you can put your hand on that he has an opportunity to make the big club. No, he doesn't have a chance to make the big club. We need this guy to go down and have a little more experience, and that's what it's all about.
Well, there's several guys that we talked about the outfield situation, but tonight Johnny Gomes, I talked to you about him off the top, and playing the wall here. Of course, it isn't just the Green Monster here. You have a seating area with a netting area, which makes it a little bit different as far as the bounces go. But can he gain anything from this wall here down at JetBlue Park to get him ready for Fenway Park?
He can get the more of the 10 part. The other parts, no, because you have a different kind of wood in Fenway Park, and the ball's going to bounce differently and everything else. And, of course, you have the netting up there, so you can't really get yourself situated out there.
Jimmy, the thing that, to me, in playing left field, I've never played left field in Fenway, but I did play third base in Fenway a lot. And to me, the depth of the outfielder, of the left fielder, and being able to either squeeze the infield and take some balls away that are hit, that would be base hits that you can take away, or playing deep. That's at least one thing here at JetBlue Park. The depths are going to be the same as Fenway Park up north.
It is, and the whole thing about playing outfield, you got to be sort of like center with your center field. Your center field directs everything. That you got to have more of a roundness. We play off each other, and of course, playing in Fenway Park, you just about know how many steps you can take to get back to the wall. So he's got to learn that. And anything over your head, anything down the line, going to be a double anyway. So really, you try to take the gap away from the guy.
So we got Ryan Domet hitting right here for the Twins. Strong right-handed hitter. Playing left field in Fenway, would you play him in, knowing that if he hits a line drive or a high deep fly ball, it's over your head, it's probably going to hit the wall and go out of the park? Would you try to squeeze him and take away the bloop base hit?
No, if you can sort of like got a power hitter, you're going to play a little bit. He's going to hit the ball a little hard anyway. So if the ball's hit hard anyway, this man is going to hold him at third base anyway.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. And the key thing here is try to keep the ball into second base depth as far as getting a double play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of a cool note that we mentioned last time out is Johnny Gomes mans that wall tonight is about the scoreboard here at JetBlue Park and where it has been stored, where it was before. Manual scoreboard originally served fans at Fenway Park starting in 1976. Scoreboard was used for nearly 3 decades and finally replaced in 2002. This manual scoreboard was taken to Daktronics storage facility, which was in South Dakota, where it stayed until April 2011 when it was put here at JetBlue Park. And it was brought nearly 2,200 miles to Fort Myers to be put in there. So, Jim, you got some dents on that thing out there.
What's that now?
You got some dents on that scoreboard out there.
No, I think mine sort of went through and they just plastered back up.
That's a strong man you're talking about, Don.
You know, like Coom and I, we never did really hit the wall. We went
You
over the
speak
wall.
for yourself. You hit the ball much harder than I did.
So you didn't waste your time with the scoreboard. You put it into the net, is what you're saying.
No,
Mass
or
Pike.
through the wall, he's saying. You know, through.
No, believe it or not, we were taught to hit line drives.
Yep.
And so there were a lot of line drives off the wall and off the scoreboard. We were taught to go from gap to gap. Guys are not taught that now. With aluminum bats in high school, aluminum bats in college, there's no bunting, there's no hit and run as far as hitting the ball to the right side. I saw something the other night, and I really got excited about. The Baltimore Orioles came in, and the first couple of innings, they did a lot of fundamentals. They hit the ball to the right side. They got guys on first base. Boom, boom, momentum second. Hit the ball to the right side, and they scored some runs. And that's what it's all about.
Well, Buck Showalter's done a great job there with the Orioles, and part of the reason they got to the postseason last year, real turnaround there in Baltimore. But for years, the Twins played very good baseball, that style of baseball, good fundamentals.
Well, I think when you get to October, you have to know how to play all facets of the game. You can't think you're going to hit the 3-run homer every night and win, because you're facing the best starting pitching, usually facing the best bullpen, and if your starters do their job, now you're getting to the best guys in the pen. So if you can't manufacture a run here and there, you're not going to be successful come October, and both of these clubs want to be playing in October.
And you see a split there for DeBron, 22 pitches, 11 balls, 11 strikes. He did just strike out Parmalee, so 2 outs. Hicks is at second base, and Ryan Doman with a swing and a ground ball left side. Middlebrooks can't get it. Marrero can, and gets it there in plenty of time to end the inning. So the Twins leave the runner in scoring position. Red Sox are coming up, and we come back to JetBlue Park. Be there for the opening homestand of the 2013 season as the Baltimore Orioles visit Fenway Park for a 3-game series, starting with the home opener April 8th through April 11th. The action continues April 12th through Marathon Monday on the 15th when the Sox battle Tampa Bay. Get your tickets for these great matchups at redsox.com/tickets.
I already made the ball club. Why am I going to try to nitpick?
Back at JetBlue South as the Red Sox and Twins are scoreless. We head to the bottom of the first inning. The Red Sox coming up as John Farrell in his first year of the manager of the Boston Red Sox. 154 and 170 in his 2 years in Toronto. His lineup looks like this tonight. Jacoby Ellsbury at center field. Johnny Gomes in left field, bat second with Dustin Pedroia at second base. Mike Napoli in the cleanup spot has 2 home runs during the spring. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching with Will Middlebrooks at third base. Mike Karp is a DH batting 7th. Ryan Sweeney out in right field, bats 8th. And Devin Marrero, Red Sox first-round draft choice at shortstop. And tonight, Ron Coomer on the mound for the Twins is Liam Hendriks.
Right-hander Liam Hendriks last year up and down a little bit for the Minnesota Twins. Had 16 starts, as you see right there. Not a very good record, but he had some games where he threw the ball well. He's vying for a starting job. To me, he's working on an out pitch here in spring training. If he can come up with an out pitch along with pitching inside, he's going to have a chance.
Darren Mastriani in left field, Aaron Hicks in center as Waldo Arcia in right field. Jamie Carroll at third. Eduardo Escobar at short with Brian Dozier at second. Chris Parmalee at first. Ryan Doman does the catching for Liam Hendriks. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first inning. Ellsbury 7 for 28 so far during the spring, and leading off anytime he's been in a game for the Red Sox down here during the spring is Ellsbury hitting at .250 during spring training. Jim, how long did it take you before you felt comfortable at the plate timing wise during spring training?
Well, you know, like It didn't take long because I was playing every day. Like I said, we only had 25. You had a 40-minute roster, and I went on every road trip. And I went out in the cage every day. I hit in the cage every day. And what I tried to do was just build up calluses. When my calluses were built up, I was ready to go. And Johnny Pesky and I went out just about every day. And I'd probably say, if you're in spring training, probably around the 10th game, because we normally would play 4 or 5 innings, and then you see 3 at-bats, and I'd be ready.
How about you, Ron?
Well, and I kind of agree with Jimmy. And to me, I wanted to see a lot of different pitches, and that was the hardest thing. I always lived up north, and you see a lot of fastballs. So by the time I came to camp, I could at least swing.
This one line to right on the move is Arcia, but it's in for a base hit for Ellsbury. He's thinking 2. Headed to second base. Arcia gets it in, but it's too late. Ellsbury turned it on as he looked out to right field to see Arcia moving over and turns a single really into a double.
Great job by Ellsbury getting out of the box quick. And this ball kind of checks up in right field. And as soon as you see that ball check up a little bit, as soon as Ellsbury seen that ball check up, he was going to second base. That's just good. As Jimmy, you talked about fundamental baseball. Those are plays that you just think is a routine double. That scores a run. Those are big plays early in a ball game.
He got out of the box pretty good, and he didn't really hit the ball on the nose of the bat. But still, what happened there, that the ball went out there, it was more of a back liner, and he took advantage of that.
And here's Johnny Gomes standing in as he gets a start in left field tonight. 6 for 26 during spring training. Who helped you out the most in left field, getting you used to the wall and playing defensively in left field at Fenway?
Well, I had Johnny Pesky to work with me, but I didn't really.
Long throw from third is not going to get there in time. Good play at third base just to grab it. Gomes reaches at first and taking third is Ellsbury.
I had to learn on my own. Because one thing that I recall, Yaz took me out there one day. He said, Jimmy, I'm going to show you how to play the wall. He took 2 balls off the wall, and that was it. He said, I can't teach you that because every ball that's come out there is going to be different. And I can't teach you that. You got to go out there and learn on your own. And, of course, you know, if you went out there and you saw what was behind the wall as far as the wood and everything else and the nuts and the bolts that were out there, you can't teach anyone. You just got to go out there and play. And you learn from your mistakes.
I'm sure there are some mistakes that take place during that time over the years, and you think about the years that Yaz played, and that has been an incredible position over the years for the Red Sox, and you're a big part of that.
Well, thank you. And, you know, they probably, before me, they probably had 2 left fielders out there that probably could make Coleman our team, you know, but they...
Well, nice play at third base there by Jamie Carroll.
Very good play by Carroll, and an even better play by Ellsbury. He saw the ball hit in the hole down the line, and immediately he takes third base. And those are the fundamental things that you're talking about. You see this ball hit by Gomes down the line. Ellsbury right away takes off. Carroll comes up and makes a good strong throw. Not much of a chance on Gomes, but Ellsbury just walks into third. If he hesitates, he doesn't go to third base. Now you got first and third and nobody out.
So runners at the corners, nobody out in Pedroia with a count of 1-1. Dustin batting out of the 3 spot. And I think that's going to be one of the interesting things heading into the beginning of the season is now we got a new manager, John Farrell, for the Red Sox. What is the Red Sox lineup going to look like? That's something Red Sox Nation worries a lot about during spring training.
I've been watching this young guy since he was a freshman at Arizona State playing for Pat Murphy when I used to go there and work out, and he swung just like that. He was just smaller as a freshman and swung like crazy, up shoot, swinging, and I thought, you're going to hurt yourself, man.
But here's a guy who can bat 1 to 4, 1 to 5. He can bat 1 to 5. And I just noticed the swing that he took. He tried to hit that ball to right field. And I love it because look at the gap that he got. If he hits the ball to the right side, L's going to score, and we got a chance for first and third. So that was almost like a little fundamentals that we were talking about.
He was primarily hit second in the Red Sox order. Do you think there's a best spot for Dustin Pedroia in this order? Make a difference?
I think that when Dustin comes to the ballpark, Farrell got one thing in mind. I got to find 7 more guys I got to put in there. He knows Dustin's going to be in there. You know, got the pitch and what have you, but he knows that Dustin's going to be in there, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's such a big thing. When you talk about players and you talk about star players and you talk about guys with big hearts, here's a ground ball to second base. See if the Twins' young infield can turn it over, and they do.
They do. A run scores. Ellsbury in the back door, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
But it's so important for your star players. I know, Jimmy, you played every day. When I got to the big leagues, Kirby Puckett was our star player. You could write his name in the lineup every day. Pedroia, you know, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he may have the biggest heart on the field today. And you know, if there's a baseball player, that's it. That's where you start your team, and he's one of them.
You know, he's sort of like a giant. Because if you look at Dustin, the first thing they talk about is his height and what he weighs and everything else, and playing second base. And here's a guy who's the MVP and rookie of the year. So that tells you how big he is.
It is amazing. You see that little guy with that big swing. You've got to say somewhere along the line somebody tried to talk him out of that big swing, but he's still got it.
This guy right here,
Ron Coomer
he was a freshman in college, and I tried to talk him out of it. So that's why I'm up here in the booth and I'm not coaching.
Well, he was an MVP, as it turned out. It worked out with that big swing.
He did pretty good in the Big Ten, or Pac-10, too, I think.
Another guy with a big swing is Mike Napoli, who's had a good spring for the Red Sox so far. He's 7 for 17 with 2 home runs, and he's got a lot of power.
Yeah, this is a big pickup for you guys. You know, obviously the Red Sox are looking to fill a few holes going into this season. And to me, you did a very good job with some of the pickups that you did this year.
Escobar's throw is in plenty of time to get Napoli. The Red Sox score a run. We're through 1 tonight from JetBlue Park at Fenway South. Sox have the lead as we get ready for the top of the second inning. The New York Jets probably not on that plane, but it is JetBlue Park, and it is a JetBlue plane on what is a terrific night tonight in Fort Myers. 75 degrees, humidity at 22%, and more the same expected the rest of the night. Clear skies here in Fort Myers. We've been talking about outfield positions, and with more, here's Jenny Dell.
That's right, Donna. We got a question from Radio Dave, and Dave wants to know, Jim Rice, do you think it's too early to bring Jackie Bradley Jr. up to the big leagues? This is something that John Farrell has talked a lot about because of his impressive spring training so far. John Farrell said that he would be served well to get some at-bats in the minor leagues before he comes up. Do you guys agree?
Well, you asked Radio Dave where we're going to play him. That's the key thing. You know, in order to bring someone up, you don't want this young man to sit on the bench. He's got to play every day. And, of course, he's in a position now that he got to learn all the pitches. He got to learn all the ballparks. I think in maybe another year in AAA will be good for him. And, of course, you don't know what they're going to do with Ellsbury, but still I think another year will be very good for him.
But you got to be like what you're seeing from him right now so far.
Oh, yes, I like that, but still, where's he going to play?
Right. There's no
so that's the key thing right there. I mean, he's making a name for himself, and at least he got the Red Sox eyes open, and also he can have other teams' eyes open. So he doesn't have to play for the Red Sox, but still I think he's got to go out and play another year.
Well, tonight, questions for Jim Rice, Ron Coomer. You can ask them, #outfield. As this one is left side, and Middlebrooks will cut it off from Marrero. His throw in time to retire Arcia for the first out of the second inning. And again, the #outfield. Join the conversation here tonight. And Johnny Gomes, part of that outfield for the Red Sox. And Jim, the Red Sox spent a good amount of time adding to this roster during the offseason. Johnny Gomes, one of those guys. David Ross, one of those guys. And Shane Victorino as well. Some pretty good guys, character guys, brought onto the team this year.
Well, you know, like you can have a good ball team, a great ball team, and Ron and I know that it starts in the clubhouse. It starts in the clubhouse, and you got to have fundamentals. And when you have fundamentals and guys in the clubhouse, you got to know who your leaders are. You got to have someone to come in and say, look, guy, I'm out here doing my job. We got to shake it up. We are the Boston Red Sox. We got to represent the Boston Red Sox. We got to represent the city. We got to represent our family, and of course the guys are paying us this big money. We got to go out and play some baseball, and that's the key thing.
Well, I'm sure some of the teams you were on, chemistry-wise, were they at the best when you were there?
Well, there were times we had very good chemistry with certain clubs, and certain clubs didn't. I know the year I went over to New York and played with the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter and Bernie Williams and Posada. Very good chemistry. This ball's hooked down the left field line, foul. But very good chemistry, and exactly what Jim said. They were about winning. I know when I got to the Twins, Kirby Puckett was a character guy. He was a character and a character guy. And he wanted to win, and he knew how to win. And it was part of his job to teach some of us young guys how to play the game the right way. Some of your pickups, Ross, I've played with him when he was a rookie. Very quality guy. Get a strikeout right here, Joe Benson. But I think, you know, Napoli and some of the guys that you picked up are all accustomed to playing October baseball, and I think that's the important thing.
Johnny Gomes, a guy that last year the Oakland A's, to a man, said was their leader, and they were a real surprise team last year. He didn't play a lot either in the playoffs. Won a bat in the playoff series against the Tigers. There's another strikeout for DeBron. He's got 2 Ks in an inning and 2/3, and here's Brian Dozier. Where does Dozier fit in on your club this season?
Well, Dozier's a guy that played shortstop last year and was kind of handed the job at short for a while. Was a little inconsistent defensively. He can swing the bat at times, got some pop in his bat. And then Florimone came up when Dozier got sent down and played very well at short. And now this year, Gardy has moved Dozier to second base. And it looks like to me so far, Dozier is going to be the guy.
This one hit well to left. Gomes going back. He will play it off the wall. A bit of a deke there, but Dozier still headed to second base. And he will get there standing with a 2-out double, a wall ball double to left.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Dozier is a guy that can reach the seats in left field. This pitch down and into Dozier, and he just drops the head of the bat on it. It hits this ball off the green monster in left field. And to me, he's got very good hands. He just needs to be consistent. That's what you're looking for defensively from your 2 middle guys in the infield. If he can be consistent, he's going to be the everyday second baseman.
Well, tonight we come to you from JetBlue Park at Fenway South in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the Twins and Red Sox. Don Orsillo, Dick Kramer, along with Hall of Famer Jim Rice, All-Star Ron Coomer with us, and Jenny Dell also here tonight as Red Sox continue their Grapefruit League schedule. This one sent foul down the right field line by Eduardo Escobar with 2 outs here in the second inning. Escobar so far 11 for 32 during the spring. In the dirt, and that one almost hit him as it evens at 1-1. Well, Jim, your thoughts on the team heading into the season and John Farrell returning here to the Red Sox? It seems that from a pitching standpoint, he has really helped out Lester, Buchholz, some of the guys that he's worked with in the past, had a chance to work with them again.
But not only pitching, I think it starts in the clubhouse. I think it starts with Farrell had been here before, and of course the way the season went last year, it's entirely different spring for the players, and of course everyone that's involved with the Red Sox. Like I said, he's been here before. I think you're probably going to see more out of the players now. You're not going to see, I guess, what you saw last year. You're probably going to see more fundamentals. You're going to see more guys that are willing to go that extra yard. Last year, there was no yards. They was giving yards back. So I think this year's going to be different.
It seems like there's a level of respect that was perhaps not there before, but they know this guy.
Yes. And they got to respect themselves.
He's been a part of winning championships in a Red Sox uniform with some of these guys that are on this bench. And I think that's the one thing that he brings. The fundamentals, but that winning spirit that they've had here for a while that they lost last year.
Jim, you are in the clubhouse every day. Of course, here as an instructor as well. What is your feel on the mood so far of this team coming in?
I think you're probably going to see a little better mood as far as another week to go in spring training when everybody going to be ready to, you know, hey, let's go. We're ready to go. So now I think that they have it. They know that Farrell is their manager. You don't have to worry about anything as far as what went on last year. You got to be focused on this year, and you just got to go out there and get off to a good start. Not get off to a bad start, but get off to a good start.
0-6 the last 2 years, and certainly they're trying to avoid that. Red Sox do begin the year on the road. Of course, Yankee Stadium for the first 3, and then it is north of the border to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays for 3 before returning home and this season for the Twins coming in. Ron Gardenhire trying to get away from last year's losses. Ended up a total of 96 losses last year. Very unusual for a Ron Gardenhire team.
It was, and it was a struggle for the ball club. Our schedule, we played the East, went out East and played mainly out there early in the season, get off to a poor start, and by the end of April, we were unable to get back into a winning mode. And, you know, we had some injuries. And the other thing is, we've talked about the word fundamentals has been brought up a lot already in this first couple innings. That was the one thing that started slipping away from some of the young players with the Twins last year, and they didn't play that way. And I think Gardy, going into spring training this year, knew with the staff that was going to be the thing that they were going to impress upon everybody the most. And I anticipate you seeing what everybody talked Twins baseball again this season.
You may see a lot of fundamentals as far as with the younger guys. The young guys got to get their fundamentals down because they're up right now where we gotta get things going. And the way we're going to get things going by bringing the rookies up and say, look, your job is not to hit home runs, fundamentals, make the routine plays, and just go out and do your job. Have fun. These guys now are not necessarily the Red Sox, but a lot of teams are not having fun. When we played, we had fun because we knew that if we didn't get the guy over, somebody would come in and tell you, say, hey, look, you didn't do your job. And they're going to tell you in a nice way. Then the next time, they're going to embarrass you. And no one enjoys being embarrassed.
Grounders softly down the third baseline, fouls. It hangs at 2-2 to Escobar.
Good at bat by Escobar right here. He's fouled off some good pitches, a couple of pitches in, a few pitches away. An Escobar guy, you know, trying to win a spot on this roster as a utility player. He's swung the bat very good so far this spring, but he's had a quality at bat. He's tried to shoot some balls the other way. Pitch in, he's kind of fought off with a 2-2 count.